Welcome operators to another mining tutorial video by yours truly, Jay Tucker. Today we're going to take a look at mining in 3.3. So far I can say I've been pleasantly surprised at how smooth the process has gone. There's a lot less lag, so the mining inputs seem to be a little bit smoother, allowing to do a much better job mining each and every rock. If you notice here, the rock that I'm mining, at no point do I ever go into the overcharge, which allows for a much better breakup, a smoother operation, and as we'll come to see here shortly, it also allows for a better distribution of the resources into each of the different nodes that break off of it. The worse job you do mining, the crappier the breakup is. But if you do a really good job mining your rock, you're going to have higher concentrations in each of the little pieces that will allow you to make the most profit each run. So what I'm doing here, at first I started looking for just the tungsten. The laranite was kind of like a byproduct of what I was trying to do here. But I'm going through and I'm scanning each and every one of these pieces because I want to make sure that I get the largest chunks as possible. It's going to come in very important at the end of the video, and you'll see why. So as we go through here, scan, I always go find the purple pieces first, and if I want to take it, I go ahead and take it. If not, I move on and see what I got to break down next. Now this particular asteroid started with around 7% laranite, as you'll see later in the video why that's important. So what I'm doing here is in 3.3, they changed how the minerals are divided up. No longer is it equally distributed between each and every little piece that breaks off. You can have pieces that have as high as 100% of the commodity you're looking to mine, and you can have chunks that come out and have absolutely nothing in them. So you are able to now be a little more picky in what you choose to load onto your prospector as cargo. Me personally, I try not to take anything that's less than 10%. Seems like you're leaving a lot of money on the table, but you're going to make a lot more money in the end. Because what we're going to do now is instead of taking one rock and filling up our prospector entirely with all of its contents, we're actually going to mine multiple rocks till we get a high yield cargo that we can take back and sell for a much larger profit than what we were seeing before in 3.2. As you'll see here, this particular chunk that broke off has 72% laranite in it. So I'm going to go ahead and load it up. And it's important to note here, this is actually the second asteroid that I have mined on this run. The first asteroid only contained 2% laranite and contained tungsten. I'll put a screenshot up towards the end of the video with the original 2 scans of the asteroids. And you'll be able to see what the end result is compared to what you would have expected in 3.2 to make off of those rocks by themselves. Alright, so I'm going through here and I'm just looking over each of the little pieces. And see, that one there only has like just under 2% laranite. We don't want that. Now this one here has a pretty sizable chunk of laranite in it. Looking at it's like 36, 38%, something in that neighborhood. We definitely want to crack that open because that's going to give us some really large chunks once it's broke down into smaller pieces, which is only going to increase our overall payout at the end of the run. Just got to be careful, keep our mining power into the green, not overcharge the rocks so we get a better distribution of the minerals, and which is a much more profitable day for the miner. So now we're just sitting here, we're scanning each of these pieces again, just making sure we do our due diligence here and get the largest chunks. Like there we go, there's 100% chunk laranite. Add that into the cargo bay, and keep on going. Now, part of what they're adding into 3.3 is also power management stuff, and I'll probably end up trying to do a video on that later concerning how to properly manage the power input, because that will also affect your mining laser, the power it can put out and not. This ties in more with the rest of the ship components, the Item 2.0 that they're doing now, so we'll have to get that dialed in and refined. So I'm just going to keep scanning here, finish up, and try to see if we can get this thing filled up and heading on back to Port LSR and see what kind of money we made today. Alright, so before we head back to Porto, now that we're all full up, I'm going to give you a couple screenshots. This is the first asteroid I mined. It contained only 2% laterite. And this is the second asteroid. It contained 7.8%. Now, if you look at the original 3.2 model for mining, that would have only made me 9,000 between both rocks. However, in the new 3.3 model, you can see here that I made 18,199 alpha UEC for what took me 20-30 minutes at most. It's a lot better, much more profitable than the old system for mining. So there you go, guys. This is how you make a bunch of money in mining. Go out there, crack some rocks, and enjoy.